Yes, sir, ladies and gents, boys and girls from around the world. Welcome back to another episode of 99 Pod, and it's going down for real, for real. I mean, on this Monday, on a fun day, we look back on the games yesterday, and man, I mean, it wasn't a lot of games going down to the wire and all that. Matter of fact, some teams got smacked. But at the same time, myself, Zay, Fred, and Zach, even though Zach is not here, we give you what you need to hear in the sports media landscape, and we bring you the best debates that sports media has to offer. And as I said, and I'm gonna repeat, it's going down. I got my guys, my fellas in the building today, and I'm gonna pass over the mic to my guy, Good Vibes. Zay, let me guess, the vibes are not great. You being a Jets fan, I know the vibes are not great. What's going on, my guy?
I'm not in paradise today. I'm not in the best place in the world. All my teams lost yesterday, and it wasn't the best time this weekend. This weekend was not good. All the angst, all the hype I had going into this week, this Sunday, to see what happened, it was just disgusting, and I was not happy about it. We're gonna talk more about it very shortly, so I want to save my energy and my composure for that particular moment. So I just want to pass this off the mic to Freddie. Tell us how you doing today.
Yo, Freddie System is here. I made it. I was rushing, but I'm here. I'm excited to talk sports today. Clearly, the Eagles did win, so my vibe's a little better. But at the end of the day, listen, it's a great sports weekend. And we in the middle of a great sports moments. Going down till December, we're talking about NFL, NBA, college, boxing, whatever. We here to talk about it.
We got my guy, Coach. That's in the comments. Coach, what's going on, my guy? I mean, look, it's going down. It's a beautiful day, even though it's very cold. Okay. But as you see at the bottom of your screen, like and subscribe to the channel to be notified of new uploaded content that will be coming your way. Okay. This is Thanksgiving week right here. So we're going to knock these 2 episodes we have coming your way this week out the ballpark so we can eat. Okay. And that's just what it is. Now it's time to move on to the first topic because guess what? Time don't wait on no man. So we might as well get with the program and we might as well start in New York, as we all know that Zac Wilson frustrated. There's a report that he has frustrated Jets by acting like he isn't the problem. Should the Jets bench Zac Wilson? And Zay, the mic is yours. Go ahead.
Man, before I even get to that question and answer it, Zac Wilson played absolutely abysmal yesterday. To complain about the win, to overthrow Denzel Mims, because he's already 6'3", he's overthrown like he's 7'2". You can't get the ball to your guys. You can't get the ball to the receivers. You can't get CJ. I think it was CJ. Was it CJ or was it Conklin? That was wide open in the middle of the field. Missed him completely. And the Patriots missed a couple interceptions. That should have been easy interceptions. He should have threw 4 to 5 picks that game because he was throwing the ball horribly the entire day. It does not make any sense. Every time he plays the Patriots, it's deers and headlights. When he plays everyone else, it seems fine. He seems competent. But when he plays against Bill Belichick, he gets nervous. He gets scared. I feel like he's throwing a game. I feel like he has a bet with Bill Belichick saying, well, I'm going to give you some picks. I'm going to make sure I look horrible. I look pedestrian so you can get the win because I'm a New England Patriot at heart. Like, that's exactly what Zac Wilson looks like. He looks terrible. I say all of that to say you can't bench Zac Wilson because when you bench him, you have Joe Flacco and you got Mike White in the background. 2 guys who sit in a pocket and they can't evade any kind of blitz. They can't evade any kind of defender when they crash the pocket. The offensive line is not good. They get to the quarterback ASAP. And the only person that evades as good as Zac Wilson is some of the elite quarterbacks in the NFL, like Patrick Mahomes and those boys and Josh Allen. A lot of guys cannot do what Zac Wilson does in the pocket because he evades a lot of sacks. And that's why he's able to be so elusive and run around. The pocket collapses almost every play. There's a defender in his face every single play. And that's because the offensive line is very bad. It's not a good offensive line. The reason why he doesn't get sacked as much is because he's running around for his life like any other quarterback did, like Russ Wilson did in Seattle. When I was complaining about why the offensive line is not doing good, why are they not protecting the quarterback? This offensive line does not protect the quarterback well. And then people complain about yesterday, the running game couldn't get going. There's a reason for that because the offensive line was not playing good. The offensive line was not doing their job, what they needed to do. And, there's a lot of injuries on the offensive line. We have 4 guys in injury reserve. We had Higbee, Highbig, I think his name is, who was hurt with a shin injury, so he didn't get to start. It was Dave Freeney, and he was letting everybody in. It was an open door. Everybody in 24/7. Hey, come hit the quarterback for 3 straight hours. It's all right. Don't worry about it. We ain't trying to win the football game. And that's exactly what the Jets were playing last night. Zac Wilson cannot read the field well, and that's an issue. That's a glaring issue. Of course, that's a knock on his development as a quarterback. That's a knock on him as a quarterback. But he needs to have some kind of coach show him this guy's open. At halftime, LaFleur had to see that things were not working for this quarterback. Zac Wilson should not be throwing the ball consistently the way he was if you saw the game wasn't going on. What happens? Third quarter, as soon as he gets the ball, they throw two pass plays, the first possession, and it's not working. It hasn't been working the first half. And you know that's what Belichick wants you to do. Throw the football. And he did exactly what he wanted you to do. You wanted him to do. He wanted you to throw the football because you knew Zac Wilson could not make the throws, and you fed right into him. It was a disgusting display of both play from the quarterback, but also from the offensive coordination. It was just terrible all around.
So, not Zach, Zay, I didn't get maybe I was missing here. Maybe I was daydreaming. You know, I'm a space cadet. Okay, we'll talk. But do you think that the Jets should bench Zach Wilson? I don't know if you said it or not.
I do not believe the Jets should bench Zach Wilson.
Well, I'm going to disagree with you. Fella. I'm going to disagree with you. Now, look, I don't really like throwing away large investments. Player Zach Wilson was drafted with a number 2 overall pick. There has to be a longer leash. But at the same time, I mean, when you look at this game, the Patriots, right? The Jets actually held the Patriots on 3 points on 11 drives, okay? The team is overachieving this year, but the most important position on the field, which is quarterback, is underachieving for the Jets. And when you have a team that's overachieving and a quarterback that's underachieving, there's an imbalance. And now you're not maximizing guys' talents on the football field. And if you're Robert Saleh, okay, you have to galvanize your locker room. You got to take one for the locker room. Right now, these guys are frustrated. First of all, Zach Wilson, for you to come out and not take accountability is a disaster. It's a bad look, bad PR move, and a bad locker room move. You need to take accountability because you was the weakest link on the football field. Your defense held Mac Jones to 3 points, okay? And guess what? What did you do? Y'all barely even got over midfield, okay? It was terrible. 2.2 yards per possession or something like that. 2.2 yards per play or something I saw. It was terrible offense. And for you not to take ownership, I don't even care if you threw for 300 yards and your team lost. There has to be a level of accountability. Yo, I got to be better, etc. For you to say no, like it wasn't the offense, that's throwing your teammates under the bus. And guys are not going to like that. Guys like Patrick Surtain, who's busting their ass off, is not going to like you saying that I wasn't the weakest link or I'm not holding myself accountable. So if you're Robert Saleh, unfortunately, you have to keep your locker room because at the end of the day, you could lose your job here. Your job could be at stake. You need to do what is best for you individually and the team and bench Zach Wilson, right? And allow a quarterback who's going to be able to manage the game and make simple throws because you have the talent on the football field. You have a elite defense. I think the Patriots and the Jets are probably two of the best defensive teams in the NFL, period, in the same division, okay? But you have to bench Zach Wilson to prove a point to save your locker room so your locker room is not divided. You already had my guy Elijah Moore coming out saying, I'm going to be out. I'm going to be traded. You handled that situation. It's time for you to handle your business on this one.
Yeah. Oh, man. Y'all both said a great one. Maybe I'm the tiebreaker. But let's break it down to y'all like this. Like you said, number 2 pick overall, major investment. This is only his second year. And the coach, regardless of what you're saying, Cuzzo, he's going to have to, his fate is going to be in the hands of Zach Wilson. He's going to get fired either because he benched him or because he played him, okay? That's what's going to happen. That's what happens to head coaches. You know what I mean? What happens to head coaches, they almost married into their quarterback. Their quarterback don't play well, you might get fired. Your quarterback play well, you got a job. They played horrible yesterday offensively, man. We talking about 100 yards or maybe 110 yards total offense. That's disgusting. That's embarrassing to human beings. What are we doing here? Okay. Zach Wilson, he looked horrible. What was he like? I want to say 9 out of 22. Horrible. You know what I mean? No accuracy. He looked like a freshman quarterback in college playing in the NFL, right? He looked like he didn't belong on the field. He looked like he don't belong in the NFL. He don't look like he got all of this talent. I don't care about his elusiveness. It didn't look good. That was not pretty football. That was not good-looking football. And for the New York Jets defense to play exceptionally well and definitely play well enough to win the game, We got to go back to Herm Edwards. You play to win the game. And Zac Wilson did not put them in position to win the game. And me personally, that's how I play. I benched him. So I'm siding with you, Cuzzo. I benched this dude because I'm not going to let one man take down the 53-man roster, just like you said, destroy the locker room, okay, because you're playing horrible. And then in the press conference, trying to try to throw him under the bus, okay? Like you said, he didn't take no accountability. But forget about accountability. The coach got to take accountability. The coach watched this disgusting display and continue to allow it to happen, okay? You're going to the fourth quarter with like seconds left, 3-3. Defensively, special teams play well enough to win. Zac Wilson, horrible to the point, okay? 7 for 22, 100 and something yards total offense. I think they had -2 yards passing in the second half. We can't have these type of numbers. These are historical, horrible numbers. Bench this kid, get rid of the investment. When you make a bad investment, the best thing to do is to get rid of it quickly. He got to go. And benching him means you off this train because you can't bench him and then say he's a future. Bench him and get off this train.
I mean, I will say this real quickly, Zay. I know you want to jump in here. This is your team. I'm gonna pass the rock immediately back to you. He should have been benching this game. Okay, one thing about Brian Flores, and I hated him for it. Okay, but he did what he had to do when Tua was sticking up the joint and the defense was playing well. He subbed him out and threw Ryan Fitzpatrick in the game. He should have been benched in this game. The Jets went from potentially, if they won this game, being number 1 in the AFC East, and now they are last place in the AFC East. Y'all was ready to write off the Buffalo's obituary. Okay, well, guess what? They rose like Lazarus. Okay, they are still in there. Miami's still in there. You have to do what you have to do to win every game by game basis. And how is it going to look? By you telling your locker room, well, you know what, I'm not going to bench this kid because guess what? We drafted him with the number 2 pick. So, you know, I kind of got to roll with the investment. I'm going to look at you like you a fool. Go ahead, Zay. The mic is yours.
No, I was only going to say this, and the only reason why you don't bench him is because of that, because of the investment, as you stated, and also because when you look at what you put around this kid, it's nothing but young players and guys who have yet to be proven as wide receiver ones. That's all you put around Zac Wilson. You didn't put him around a coach who was a quarterback guru, who knows the X's and O's of football, who knows how to really develop quarterbacks. You didn't put him around a head coach who has been coaching in his NFL for years and decades. This is the first time being a head coach on the New York Jets, on a team that didn't have promise to do anything really this season, but they're overachieving and they're overexceeding things. And that's why you want to win games. And that's why you want to get Zac Wilson out in certain instances, in situations like that we just saw, because the performance is horrible. He's not reading the field well. He's not be able to see the X's and O's. But this is not the only quarterback that have issues in his LaFleur system. Aaron Rodgers is another quarterback that's having issues in his LaFleur system. So when the hell are these LaFleurs going to stop doing all these crazy motion plays? It's not. You can't just blame the.
Look,
I mean, I blame.
Time out. I gotta throw in the towel here.
Absolutely.
I gotta throw in the towel here. I'm sorry to interrupt you like that, but I gotta throw in the towel here. Rodgers won back-to-back MVPs. What are we talking about?
With Devontae Adams.
What are we talking about? 2 NFC Championship game appearances with Matt LaFleur. What are we talking about?
With Devontae Adams. We forgot Devontae Adams. It wasn't with LaFleur. It was with Devontae Adams. He could.
I know, but
me, you, and Freddie could have coached the Packers with Devontae Adams and Aaron Rodgers, and we would have 13-3. We would have went 13-3 with that team. That's just how it is. When you got Devontae Adams on the team with Aaron Rodgers, it don't matter what's gonna happen. It don't matter if the X's and O's. It's just who's gonna stop this man? Nobody. That's how it was. But I'm talking about the LaFleur system, because Zac Wilson's not able to read the field, and that's the issue. Everyone's talking about the motions are supposed to help the quarterback and get and open the field up, open the defense up. If he can't read the field, it don't matter if the field's open or not. He can't read where the open receivers are. So you have to dumb this playbook down so he's able to read the field, because he's not seeing an open guy. He's not seeing it. When the blitz is happening, he sees nothing. And that's the issue. He's a deer in headlights once the pressure is hitting him. And that's the problem. So as a coach, you have to find a way to dumb the playbook down so you get some positive plays. If not, it's going to continue being complicated and he's not going to be able to see what's going on. Belichick is a guy who knows how to eat up young quarterbacks. That's his whole career model. He knows how to do that. And so when we're playing against him, you have to dumb down the playbook so he can make the positive plays. Because everything what we saw, wide receiver screens, missing the open guy in the slant, missing the outlooks, missing the post routes. He's missing all of these plays. And that's indicative to, one, his development, and also what is the coaching staff doing to mitigate the changes. They're not doing anything. When he played against Buffalo, he looked like a different quarterback. He was making plays. He looked confident in the throws he was making. He looked like he was ready to attack the defense at any given time. Against the Patriots, he doesn't look like that. He looks terrible. He looks like Freddie said, a freshman quarterback playing against Alabama. I'm about to say Albany, Alabama. Like it doesn't look good.
I mean, look. I would say this, and cuz I'm gonna throw it right back to you. Now, the games that they won this year was when the running game was effective, when you had Brees Hall, who was playing like he was going to be rookie of the year, when you had the defense creating takeaways, the defense that they fought, that were main. But
Right.
the way how they were winning with Zac Wilson, it was like, okay, we have no margin for error. Our defense can't mess up. Our running game has to be stout. And because of that, when you look at Zac Wilson, you have no margin for error. So now you're kind of banking on him not turning the ball over. He threw 2 interceptions that was dropped in this game. You can't play scared football. You have to be able to trust your quarterback to make the right play and make the right read. You can only tell the game book for so long. He's going to have to go out there and make a play. And so far, he has shown he's not ready to do that yet.
Listen, I agree with Zay a little bit here. They got to dumb down the playbook, bro. He ain't ready to read. He's not ready to be in a sophisticated offense. He's just not. So you really got to make it real simple for him. And I know that could fall into the defensive hands or Bill Belichick's hands to the point of you dumb down the playbook, you're going to look horrible anyway. But I think maybe the playbook could be a little complicated for him. But let's be fair and clear. He don't look accurate. He's not making basic throws, right? So he's overthrowing wide open people. So I'm going to stand on bench this cat because at the end of the day, Flacco would make some of those throws. And Flacco might have gave them an opportunity to score 3 more points. That's all I'm saying. So from that perspective, that's all I'm saying. You know what I mean? Like, what else to say after that?
3 more points. That's all we need is a field goal, bro. You know what I'm saying? Just 3 more points. And you know it's crazy because when you look at Zac Wilson, we talked about everything with him. It's like, I understand and I agree to some extent that you need to dumb down the playbook. But like I said, it's only but so much you can dumb down. He has to make the basic throws. He has to make the layup throws, right? And that's something I know Joe Flacco would do. Now, he doesn't have the mobility of Zac Wilson, so he will hurt you in some ways that Zac Wilson could help you. But at the same time, scoring 3 more points would have benefited you yesterday.
Clear.
And I got one more last stat to bring up here before we move on to the next topic. Fields is 14th in the league in ESPN's QBR. Trevor Lawrence is 17th in the league, and Wilson is 24th. Out of that 2021 class, he's lacking. Say what you want about Trevor, and Trevor hasn't looked spectacular, right? Fields, for one point of the season, did not look spectacular, but yet they are having better QBRs than your boy Zac Wilson. That's a problem. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be back. Moving right on to the next topic. So like and subscribe to the channel and drop a comment. What do you think? Should the Jets bench Zac Wilson? But without further ado, it's time for topic number 2. As you see at the bottom of the screen, does Justin Herbert deserve more criticisms for the Chargers' shortcomings? And cuz of the mic is yours.
Yeah. Listen, man, Justin Herbert is a talent. And nobody could deny that man's talent. I'm talking about from a scrambling quarterback to a throwing quarterback to throwing on the run to reading defenses. He handles business. I can't really give him a lot of criticism. But the only thing is with this Kansas City, LA Chargers situation, it is big brother, little brother, man. We talking about they played them so tough. They can clearly beat Kansas City. We can see that with our own eyes. They can outplay them in almost like 90% of a game and then wind up losing. So I don't really want to come at Justin Herbert like that. I didn't think he played a horrible game. I think he played a game where he can win. Now, he made a great throw in the 4th quarter. I think it was 3rd down and 18 through a 40-yard bomb. You know what I mean? Like, he makes the throws. He makes the plays. To me, the man is clutch. I don't want to come at him sideways. But we got to recognize Kansas City is the big brother and they the little brother, bro. And they keep bullying them. It's just what it is. It's almost like they play with them. Yeah, y'all got the lead. Okay, Patrick Mahomes is ready to go. They go down and win. It happens every time. So I'm not going to come at Justin Herbert. I think Justin Herbert, clear. Listen, go look at his numbers. He's playing well. We might have to come at the coaching staff, bro. We might have to come at this coach. You know what I mean? Because what you going to do, get rid of Justin Herbert? You ain't going to bench Justin Herbert. You ain't going to trade him. You ain't looking for a new quarterback. We might be looking for a new head coach. And I think that's where the drama needs to go towards that head coach. The issue needs to go towards the head coach. We should be looking at that head coach, not at Justin Herbert. I respect that man. He got talent.
Zay, talk to me.
Um, it's very tough, and I'm still like figuring it out, but I'm gonna talk it through. I'm gonna talk myself through it. Justin Herbert, a fantastic quarterback, but that play caller is the big question. Like Freddie said, that's the big question mark. Who's calling on plays? Who's making those drawing up the plays for the Chargers? Because we all know the Chargers are a talented offense. You look up and down. Even when Keenan Allen and Mike Williams is out, you see Palmer's is having great plays. There's another. I forgot the other receiver's name. Is Palmer and the another backup.
DeAndre Carter.
Thank you. Him. They emerge when the time is called upon them to do what they need to do and get some yards to get to touchdown. So even yesterday when Keenan Allen played, you saw Palmer taking over. He was just out there getting. I think he had 2 touchdowns last night. He was having a great game. And, I think that last interception sucked. It wasn't the best to end the game. But I think the play caller is to blame. I don't think you blame Justin Herbert in this particular case, because I think the talent is there and we see it. We see that they get electric. They're able to put points on the board, but the play call is horrible. It's not good for the Chargers offense. I feel like the Chargers, as currently presented, should be top 2 or 1 in this NFL in offense because of how much talent they have around them. It doesn't make any sense that they're not putting up damn near 30 points a game to 40 points a game just based upon their offense. It's too electric for it to be limited or hindered by this play calling. I just believe that a new coach is on the horizon. But I think it takes the front office to really realize what they have. I don't think the front office understands the dynamic of the offense. I think they just think, yeah, we're pretty good. We're solid. But I think the coach will teach us through, like, no, you're a win now team. Offensively, your team is probably one of the best in the NFL, if not the best in the NFL, just based upon talent alone that's wrapped around Justin Herbert as a quarterback. This is a guy that we said before in the offseason that he could potentially win an MVP this year if everybody played to the level that we anticipated him to play. And that was something that should have stood true if the play calling was up to par. You don't have to be an excellent play caller. We just need an up to par play caller. You don't have to be the greatest play caller in the NFL currently just to have this offense flowing. You could have been an average one. You could have been just average, and this offense could have been flowing by itself just based upon what the talent says it could do. So for me, I'm gonna blame play caller opposed to Justin Herbert.
Yeah, definitely.
I would say this. I don't think Justin Herbert deserves to be blamed for the Chargers' dysfunctional franchise. I don't know what's going on with the Chargers right now. I try to understand, but I just think they're cursed. And Justin Herbert is the one good thing that is in a cursed franchise. Like, I look at Justin Herbert the first time they played the Chiefs early in the season, and he had a gutsy performance where he nearly died in that game. First of all, they mismanaged him. He could have died on the football field, okay, with cracked ribs or broken ribs or whatever it was. He led a game, game-closing drive that narrowed the gap. They lost by 1. The Chiefs defense, the Chargers defense had 4 INTs that they dropped. They make one of those, the game is over. They win that game. This game, okay, you look at Justin Herbert. First of all, off the gate, the first touchdown in this game, he was rolling out to the right, okay, and he threw it across his body to Joshua Palmer, who was running left on a corner route against cover 2 coverage. Okay, he made that throw. It was a bullet. Excellent throw. Okay, another throw that he made in this game that made me say, wow, was the one that he threw to Keenan Allen. It was a strike on 3rd and 18. He threw that ball to Keenan Allen, followed that up a couple plays later, throwing a touchdown pass to Joshua Palmer, right? You think that's clutch, right? Yeah. That's a clutch drive right there. Unfortunately, the defense gave back the ball to Patrick Mahomes, which the defense got to be better. You invested so much money on that side of the ball, specifically in the offseason, okay? And to only be ranked 25th in the league on 3rd downs is a problem. The Chiefs converted a 3rd and 17. The Chiefs converted a 3rd and 7 and 2 3rds and 8s, okay? If you're playing the Chiefs, you have to get off the field on 3rd down. That's basic 101. And the fact of the matter is, you look at the Chargers and everybody in this division, the fact that the Chiefs have this division won before Thanksgiving is a problem, okay? Because everybody out here trying to build teams in this division. Oh, I want to catch up to the Chiefs. I want to add firepower. I want to bring in Devontae Adams. I want to bring in Russell Wilson. I want to bring in, defense, da-da-da. But the thing about it is that the AFC hasn't figured out, not the AFC West. Because I'll tell you one thing: if Tennessee play the Chiefs again with Ryan Tannehill on the football field, I'm taking Tennessee. Okay, because guess what? They're not building to beat Kansas City. They're building to win games. Okay, and if they happen to bump into Kansas City, then they're gonna beat Kansas City probably 8 times out of 10 or 5 times out of 5. It's 50-50, right? But they're gonna catch them. Okay, the Bengals, they built their team to win games. Matter of fact, they built their team unorthodox. The way how you look at their draft class, taking a wide
Right.
receiver over a lineman, taking a field
Yep.
goal kicker last year, and they beat them 2 times. They were not thinking about Kansas City. Okay, so the fact of the matter is, everybody in this division is up at night thinking about Kansas City and still can't beat them. But I tell you one thing: Kansas City don't want to see the Bengals. Kansas City don't want to see the Titans, and that's why I'm not going to blame Justin Herbert, because it's bigger than that. Okay, if you look at this division, Andy Reid is the best coach by a mile. He's a Hall of Famer. Everybody else in this division, that coach, should be fired at the end of the season.
Yo, Cuzzo.
I'm not putting the blame on Justin Herbert.
Yo, seriously, put Andy Reid with the Chargers and give Patrick Mahomes his coach. Guaranteed the Chargers would have won last night. You understand what I'm saying? Like, it's really that simple. If Andy Reid was coaching the Chargers last night, they beat Kansas City. It's simple as that.
Absolutely. And I would say this, right? Also, I want to come at Brandon Staley right here, since we talking about coaching, because I really think people like Fred and people in the media, the mass hysteria, has bullied this man into playing this nonchalant, unaggressive style of football. Okay, 4th and inches, you're punting against Kansas City. Like, I understand the game last year, he went for it excessively in this matchup particularly, right? And a lot of people said that cost him the game. But in a way, yeah, I guess there were certain plays that I would not have went for it. But against the Chiefs, you have to roll the dice. Okay, you need luck. They kind of got a little bit of luck too. In that game, they fumbled. The Chiefs were going to put them away, and they fumbled. McKinnon allowed Justin Herbert to have that job. So they had the luck in a way to finish them out, but the aggressiveness wasn't there in certain aspects of the game. 4th and inches, why are you punting? Be yourself. That's what makes you you. Okay, the fact that you're willing to gamble. So you know what? Let's go for it on 4th down. Don't allow these media heads to bully you into being nonchalant and unaggressive. That's the uniqueness about you, and that's what makes you you, for good or for bad. Go for it against the Chiefs. Matter of fact, that's how you beat them last year in the first matchup, when y'all went for it on 4th and 4, and he threw it to Keenan Allen, and y'all extended the drive and put them out. You cannot lose your aggressiveness. He did the same thing in the first matchup against the Chiefs this year, where he was punting the ball. Coaches should not allow media to get into their heads. You're not playing, you're coaching. Coach.
I agree with that one, though. He definitely changed his style of coaching to the point that he is very reserved. You know what I mean? He was so aggressive, and I criticize him for it. You like to call me out. I criticize him for it, but I stand on that, because he just went for it on 4th down way too many times. That time you talking about last night, he probably should have went for it. You can go for it on 4th down every once in a while, not every time, and that's what I criticize him for. But you're right about that.
And look, before we go to this next topic, I would say this, okay? The Chargers, I feel sorry for Justin Herbert. There's nobody in professional sports that I feel more sorry for than Justin Herbert, because you're wasting, I won't say his prime years, because his prime is still a long way. The guy got about a good 10 more years of elite football, but we all know the saying, and it's very true. You need to win championships while your quarterback is cheap, while your quarterback is on his rookie deal, before you have to shell out the cash, which we all know that the Deshaun Watson contract is going to allow people to get paid big bucks guaranteed. Keyword there, guaranteed bucks. You need to win, okay? And the Chargers knew that. They did what they had to do in the offseason. But injuries, okay? Coaching. Listen, y'all have this slight window that's still open. You need to go out there. Brandon Staley needs to be fired. You need to bring in Sean Payton to coach Justin Herbert. He needs a Hall of Fame coach. That's the only way they're going to beat the Kansas City Chiefs. It's as simple as that. Like and subscribe to the channel, okay? Get the notification. Drop a comment, and you know what we do, okay? We coming down like a comment. Let's move to the next topic that we have here. As you see, should Klay Thompson's vintage performance give the Warriors more optimism on his behalf. And before we actually proceed with that topic, right, I do want to run a fast flashback as my computer. Hopefully.
I got a take for 99 cents. And my take is that player development and contending is a slippery slope. And the reason why I say that, I want to start off in the NBA with the Warriors. Yours truly, who's 5-8 right now, haven't won a road game at the time we recording this, 0-7 on the road. Now, they're trying to do two things right now. They are trying to win as much championships for Steph Curry in his prime while still trying to get the young guys and the young bulls up to date. Now, when I look at these young guys and I look at the bench, and I talked about it on Friday, they lost two veterans off that bench, Otto Porter and Gary Payton II. Okay, and they will place them with 21 and below guys that age, right? 21 and below. And they're expecting these guys to contribute and get up to speed very quickly so they can contend for as much championships as their window allows them to accomplish and win. Now, with that being said, when you look at the Warriors, a lot of guys is not understanding the motion, the offense, and how they utilize a lot of motion. Guys are always asked to cut to the basket and do every little nuance instead of just scoring the basketball. Okay, and sometimes when you come from college, there's a level of entitlement. Get me the ball. I want to make a play. I want to be hero. But instead, not cutting to the basket. Okay, there was a play where Curry was getting on Moses Mooney for blowing up, I believe, a transition attack for, blowing it up. You don't have the patience to develop these young guys. And that's why it's always a slippery slope.
Okay. Speaking of slippery slopes right here, it's time for us to move on to the next topic. Y'all hear me? Mic check, we good?
We good? Yeah.
All good. I'm hearing this echo in the background, but I'm ignoring it. Should Klay Thompson for me?
Hold on, I'm sorry, cousin. Am I on?
Yeah, you good.
Oh, okay.
Nah, actually, I don't see you.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure it out.
But Zay, I'm gonna throw you the rock first. Thompson's vintage performance allowed the Warriors to be more confident on his behalf. I can hear you.
I'm sorry about that. I was saying this team, the Warriors, are in a position where it gives you more optimism that Klay Thompson's finding his jump shot, because when he finds his jump shot, he's more confident on both sides of the floor. He's being more active, and you see Klay Thompson play a lot better when he's making jumpers. Because we've seen in instances in multiple years where if he's not making his shots, he's lackadaisical on defense. He's like derailed. He doesn't really feel confident playing on the basketball floor when he's not making his jumpers. So him feeling hot, getting warm, making his jumpers early. He's more active on defense. He's more aggressive. He tries to make plays happen a lot. Wait for things to happen against him. So I see this as a great segue into, as the season progresses for the Warriors, because a confident Klay is exactly what they need. Someone that's going to be able to attack, someone that's be able to be aggressive when Curry's not going off, or when Curry's being double teamed, or Wiggins is not going off, or Wiggins is being trapped in the paint or trapped on a corner somewhere. So I think it's something that they need. They need Klay Thompson to find that confidence, find that rhythm, so that he could play both sides of the floor, because he's only playing both sides of the floor elite when he's making the jump shots. And I think right there, the last two games against the Knicks and also last night, we seen a performance of a different magnitude, of just a different caliber of Klay, and that's vintage Klay. That's third quarter Klay, as people love to call him. So that's something that we hope to see moving forwards, because his Warriors team, we believe, still has the juice and still has the talent to take over this Western Conference.
Look, I would say this. I think that if you're the Warriors, you should not be as confident yet. I think you want to see some level of consistency. You need as much firepower as possible. You need Klay Thompson to go off as much as possible, because the defensive side of the ball is a lot to be desired for. I think when you look at this game and you talk about the Cavaliers, I think it was the Cavaliers, right? No, it wasn't the Cavaliers. It was the Houston Rockets. They put up 120 points. This team only had 3 wins on the year. They was finding quality looks. Okay, the defense still was suspect. And it took a very great vintage performance from Klay. It took Steph Curry for y'all to win this game by 7 points. Okay, so Curry can not longer drop 50 and y'all still lose. Y'all have to get Klay Thompson to have more nights like this. I think when you talk about this team, and one of the things I want to highlight is that I don't see the attention to detail on the defensive side of the ball. And I feel like everybody's out here trying to get their own bucket. One thing that I liked and that I admired about the Warriors in the years they won the championship was the level of unselfishness. They knew how to pass the rock. They was passing the rock a lot. Now I just see guys just want to score and not play defense. They used to play together defensively and offensively. I'm not seeing that right now. I'm not seeing Draymond Green, get into guys' faces and having that, voice, being that voice in the locker room, at least on the TV. And you could say a whole lot about why that is. You could say the situation with Jordan Poole, that probably hindered him from doing that. Or you can possibly say that the fact that he didn't get his money. And he's like, my name is Bennett, and I'm not in it because guess what? I'm going to win it somewhere else. The Warriors, you should be concerned, okay? And beating the Houston Rockets and winning by 7 points and Klay Thompson going off in this night is not going to make me feel confident in him and make me feel confident in the Warriors. They have to develop more consistency. They still have questions on that bench. The defensive side of the ball is still a question mark, and that's why I'm answering it like that.
Fully disagree. Okay, I'm very encouraged because when you have a major injury, it normally takes you more than 1 year to come back, right? So Klay Thompson's coming off a major injury, ruptured Achilles. I think he also had ligament damage, reconstructed the knee. He played all season last year, but came in the middle of the season last year, played throughout the playoffs. We saw a lot of inconsistency. We saw some good Klay, we saw some bad Klay. Even coming into the season, we saw some bad Klay. If I start to see Klay come around, and I expected this, I said, this is the year we're going to know if Klay Thompson's fully healed off of those injuries. This will be the year, the second year. And as I'm seeing him start to play consistently with the legs under him, with the way that he's shooting, I'm very encouraged. Okay. This is a team that is going through some turmoil, going through some adversity, but this is also a team that got championship pedigree. All they got to do is get it together, right? Klay Thompson start playing the way that he normally can play alongside of Steph Curry. I'm very comfortable and confident in it. Yes, defensively, they look a little suspect. I give you that. Draymond Green, he didn't get his money. Jordan Poole, he punched him in the face and all that. I give you all of that. Steve Kerr, Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, I feel with that championship pedigree could overcome all of these obstacles as long as Klay Thompson is playing at a high level. And I am very comfortable to say this is his second year after the injury. I'm expecting him to get back to old Klay. Seeing that it majorly encouraged me to say, yep, this is the Klay Thompson I'm expecting to see. So clearly, Golden State got some ground to make up. It's still early in the season, but I'm very encouraged on what Klay Thompson is doing. It's almost similar like to the New York Giants with Saquon Barkley. Remember last year? He looked like he was washed coming off his major injury. Look what he's doing his second year after the injury. He's playing well. That's what I expected Klay Thompson to do, and now it looked like he's doing it.
I mean, I think when you look at Klay Thompson and his comment, I'm hearing an echo, but when you look at Klay Thompson and his comments, right, he even said that he wasn't going to be back to vintage Klay. He said that man is long gone. He said it out his own mouth. So I have him saying that in agreement with me. But when you look at this Warriors, right, and you look at the team and you look at Klay Thompson, he had his moments in the finals where he showed vintage Klay, but then he'll not follow that up in the finals. And remember, there was a finals in particular, not this one, but a couple years ago, way back, where he was in a shooting slump throughout that whole playoffs. And then, he came back in the finals and he went off a little bit. He always been, when you look at his track record, he had stints where he was in slumps. Okay, so I'm not sure if this is more about the injury or the slump or combining both. But right now, he showed you before the Achilles that he was in slumps. I remember it. Like Cuzzo said, I was there. I saw it. Okay, last year was another one, another slump. Okay, a lot of people think it's just Achilles. Maybe it is. It probably has a lot to do with that. But over here, again, we need him to be more consistent because the Warriors cannot afford for him not to be. And that's where I'm getting at, is that he needs to go off like this on a nightly basis because guys are not holding their ends of the bargain. Like I said before, the bench is suspect. You're not getting that much firepower off the bench outside of Jordan Poole. You're not getting that much firepower from a defensive standpoint, right? And we need Klay's defense. We need him to be one of the players that we know him to be, the two-way guard, the two-way star that he once was. That's never coming back. Now, offensively, we could say, all right, maybe he get his shot back and he gets his rhythm back, and that'd be fine. But defensively, Achilles injuries and guarding the best players in the world in basketball in today's era is going to be hard to do, and I don't see it happening. So, yeah, I'm going to leave it at that.
Definitely.
Is there any last words you want to bring us out?
I'm muted. There we go. I was saying that. I wasn't not confident in this Warriors team. I believe firmly that the Warriors was going to bounce back in some facet because they have a lot of offensive power. And I think when you believe in Steve Kerr's method of defense, how they attack the ball on both sides of the floor, that they would be just fine. It's just gonna take a little bit of time for them to mesh well and get it going with the vets and get it going with the young guys. Because last year they relied on the young guys a lot. With Damian Lee now in Phoenix, you got Gary Payton that was playing a lot of defensive minutes at the point guard position. Now you have to rely on Kuminga and Moody to get it going. You have to rely on James Wiseman to hopefully find some type of rhythm when he gets back into the NBA, if he ever does. And you have to hope that Klay Thompson finds his rhythm, because last year it was Jordan Poole's show. Jordan Poole was playing the majority of the minutes. He was starting. You have to find a balance of what's going to happen between Klay and Jordan Poole. But I think this team's going to be just fine. I think the performances like that is going to rejuvenate this team, give them energy. Like, all right, it's time to get it going. But once Klay finds his rhythm, once he finds his jumper, it's going to be smooth sailing from here on out. So for me, it was just like, it was just a good way to get a couple good games in. So now hopefully Jordan Poole gets it going. And then hopefully Wiggins gets it going. Hopefully Curry gets it going, because you only need one guy to get it going every 5 to 6 games. Once that happens, it's going to be just rhythm throughout the entire season, because now you got 4 to 5 different guys who could go on 20-game spurts, 20-point game spurts, 30-point game spurts. And each one has their own different versatility to attacking the basket and scoring the basketball. So that's something that, as the Warriors season goes on, we're going to see, especially with a team like Memphis, who are all injury riddled right now. Desmond Bane out, John Moran out, Jaren Jackson still fighting back his recovery for injury. So there's a lot of different things that this Warriors team is combating against, not only themselves, but against the Western Conference.
And as we move on to the next topic, we knocking them out here. Okay. Did the game yesterday, America's Game of the Week, did that prove that the Cowboys are the second best team in the NFC? And fellas, I want to do the honors. I actually think that it didn't prove they are the second best team. I actually think it proved that they are the best team in the NFC. Let's be clear. Now, I think when you look at this game, the Cowboys went back to doing what makes them them. What makes them the Cowboys, a bunch of losers. No, I'm joking. They won the game yesterday. I think they went back to the fundamentals. When you look at this team, what makes them great is that they can run the rock and play good defense. I think when you look at this game in particular, Tony Pollard went off. Okay, he's one of the most explosive backs in the league. He can catch the ball. He can line up at wide receiver. He can run the rock, right? And now you have a guy in Zeke who can be that change of pace back, who can be the red zone guy, who could get the short yardage, yards, right? 3rd-and-1s, 3rd-and-2s, red zones, right? So the Cowboys have a luxury that they can keep the opposing quarterback on the bench, and they can generate takeaways from the defense. And that's exactly what they did in this game. They wasn't doing that the last couple of weeks. In fact, the Cowboys defense allowed over 200 rushing yards in the last 2 weeks prior to this game. In this game in particular, they limited Dalvin Cook and the whole rushing attack in general to 73 yards. Michael Parsons, he finally woke up. He made his presence felt again. The last couple of weeks, he only generated 4 pressures over the last 2 weeks. He made impactful plays. The Cowboys went back to doing what makes them them. And I thought last week when they lost to the Packers, they tried to be somebody they wasn't. They had a lead. They was up 28-14. Run the rock. They put too much on Dak Prescott, and they reap the benefits of that by losing the game. Dak Prescott is not a guy that you want with the rock in his hands making plays. Keep the game simple. Run the rock. Do the same thing you was doing translation with Cooper Rush. Okay? Do that and you'll be fine. Last week, they so happened that the Packers just woke up in that game in particular. I mean, it was a personal grudge match with Aaron Rodgers and Mike McCarthy. So Aaron Rodgers wanted to wake up for that game in particular. And it was like a boxing match. When you see a fighter dominating a match, he get caught in the championship rounds in a slugfest, he loses. That what happened. That's what happened last week. In this game, the Cowboys, and I'm not even a Cowboys fan. I hate the Cowboys. I do not like the Cowboys, but I have to give credit where credit is due. And right now, the Cowboys are not a team that you want to see. And I surely believe that they are the best team in the NFC.
Okay, go ahead, Freddie.
Yeah, y'all hear me? I'm good?
Yep.
Yeah. No, they're not the best team in the NFC, bro. This be easy. The Dallas Cowboys is just who they've been for decades. Overhyped with a win. You know what I mean? Every time the Cowboys win, we want to go and over-exaggerate on what they just done. They beat Kirk Cousins. We just talked about Kirk Cousins last week. Like you just said, Cuzzo, game of the week. He had expectations. Now the spotlight is on Kirk Cousins. What did Kirk Cousins do? He went right back to Cinderella. He is horrible. He played horrible. The offense was led horribly, okay? The Cowboys are still not a team that can stop the run, okay? They're not even built to stop the run. They built to definitely put some pressure on the quarterback, but they're not built to stop the run. They should have been pounding the rock. That's what they should have been doing yesterday, okay? It's Minnesota, okay? Trust me. San Francisco will take Dallas out. San Francisco is built to take Dallas out. Run the ball, play hard-nosed defense. Pit Dak Prescott on his butt. Stop the run. San Fran knocked them out. The Eagles already beat them. The Eagles is up 20-0 on these cats. And when we go play them in Dallas, trust me, and I said when we go play them in Dallas, we're gonna handle business. Trust me. And I know you're gonna say, oh, the Eagles just barely beat Indianapolis. We lost to Washington. I hear you on all of that. I'm not concerned by the slightest. I'm not concerned by Dallas by the slightest. CD Lamb, overrated. Okay? Ezekiel Elliott, washed up. Dak Prescott can't play under pressure. Trust me, this team will go down and go down hard. I don't have them at the first, second, or third best team in NFC, but they're a playoff team. And when we see them in the playoffs, if we see them in the playoffs, we'll knock them out. Philadelphia Eagles, Freddie says some status. What are we talking about?
I mean, look. Let me jump right in here quick. Zay, you see, I'm over here. I had to do 1,000 things, right? The broadcast system is not cooperating. So I'm over here DJing and trying to talk at the same time. But guess what? That's not going to be a competitive advantage for none of y'all here. I'm going to do what it make it do. Okay? Look, I'm going to keep it a buck. Now, you see, Cuzzo, I know your moves. I know your moves. What you try to do is shoot down the point that you know I'm going to bring up, so I won't bring it up. But I'm still going to bring it up, okay? Let's go to that Eagles argument that you made, okay? Because, they got bombarded by the Washington Commanders, and they showed the formula to beat them. The Commanders was rushing that rock. They was running that rock. You think Taylor Heineke's a good quarterback? No, and I respect the dude. I respect his grit, but he's not a good quarterback. His fundamentals, mechanics is off, okay, off the grid. But they rushed the rock. They got takeaways. That's something Dallas could do, okay? They barely beat Jeff Saturday. Okay, what are we talking about here? They barely beat Jeff Saturday yesterday. Okay, they won that game. So I don't think the Eagles is as good as, people think. Okay, I think the Cowboys are better than them. Look, this is the second year in a row that the Cowboys held Justin Jefferson in check. Justin Jefferson last year only had 21 yards. Congratulations. He upped this game with 30 yards. Okay, wow, cool. That's the best wide receiver in the league. They know how to play him well. Okay, the 49ers, maybe I do agree in the sense that they played in the playoffs. I'm taking Jimmy G. I'm not taking Jimmy G. Maybe I'm taking Jimmy G, but it's Jimmy G. Okay, at the same time, he's not any greater than Dak Prescott. So even though I don't trust the Cowboys in the playoffs, right? Anytime I sip the Kool-Aid, I realize I'm drinking water. At the same time, right now, currently, as my statement assessed and made itself clear, I think they're the best team in the NFC.
Say, get in there, baby.
Talking about this team, and I think it's fair to say that the Cowboys' defense is something above expectations. I think they're above what we anticipated them to be this year. They're playing extremely hard. I just don't think they're number one or number two team in the NFC, personally. I think the lapses of what they have is something they're missing is called consistency, and that's something that's going to be what's going to happen with the Cowboys. Everyone says it. All the popular media says it. They're an accident waiting to happen because the Cowboys are in front of their own destiny, and they always done that. They have been doing that, and has been doing that from time and time again. I think when we spoke about the Cowboys prior, I stated, they're a team that relies on a great system. They're a team that needs a great system to get the players in the best position to win football games. And I think in this particular case, they played against another team who also is martyred by inconsistencies, who's also martyred by they can't play consistent football, even though they have a dynamic offense. They're not able to put up an unlimited amount of points on the board because they're always hindered by their own production, by their own play. So I think this was just a showing of who can be more consistent between two inconsistent teams. And the Cowboys showed that their relentlessness on to run the football, to run it, just kind of just jam the run down the Vikings' throats, was able to just show them that we're able to just be more bullied than you. We're able to just bully you to what we want to do and get to the end zone faster. I think that's all we saw against these two teams. Now that we see the Cowboys play the Eagles, to be honest, I don't know what to anticipate. I don't know what's going to happen because the Eagles are a team that is able to score points in a vast majority, and they're able to pick apart that Cowboys defense, a defense that does a lot of, they hit on a double move a lot, meaning that they try to pick you off early and then they get beat off by receivers all the way down the field. They're not able to really stay in front of guys. That's something that we've seen the Cowboys defense do in the duration of the season, but we also seen them pick teams apart by being able to be more aggressive, essentially. So that's something that, for me, it's going to be interesting to see what this Cowboys team does after this monstrous win, because it is a huge win against a Vikings team. But is it going to be able to stay consistent? Are they going to be able to do this, or will they down the line lose against the Giants by 30 points? That's something that we've seen the Cowboys do time and time again.
Listen, man. Listen. This is what happened with this Dallas Cowboys team, who just lost last week to Green Bay, right? A bad Green Bay team. Right, Minnesota had a big
and the
win.
Vikings beat Buffalo.
Right, no, I'm going there. And Minnesota had a big win versus Buffalo, which they probably shouldn't win. So they riding high and smelling themselves, while Dallas Cowboy was mad, wanting to get back at the gridiron, and it showed. Okay, I do not trust Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins is nobody that I'm going to be looking at like, yup, he's going to lead me somewhere. Pit that man on primetime, and we see exactly who he is. Trash. Exactly who he was yesterday. Horrible. Okay. You trying to tell me the Dallas Cowboys, if they played any team, if you think the Dallas Cowboys going to be able to beat teams 40-3 all the time? You think teams ain't going to be able to get a lead on them? You think Dak Prescott's going to be able to come back all the time? No. This is a team that has proven over and time again they can get run on. They run defense stinks. Okay, look it up. Okay, they can press the quarterback, but at the end of the day, they secondary horrible. That's it. Okay, they can run the ball. But then Zach got to prove that he can throw the ball. And that's where the contrast come in at. To the point, they don't even have a true identity. We don't know if they're a passing team or a running team. Okay? Their coaching is subpar. Okay? This is not a great organization. This is not a great team. That's not a great quarterback. That's not a great offense. That's not a great defense. Okay? We see bits and pieces of greatness. Micah Parsons is a great individual player. Ain't no question about it. Tony Pollard, he got super talent. I give you that. What are we really talking about? What are we really talking about?
Look. Hopefully y'all can hear me, because like I said, this broadcast system that we paying money for, okay, want to act up, so I got to multitask. But Cuzzo, let me get to your point right now, because you kind of like disrespected Kirk Cousins in a way. Now, granted, not that anything that you said is wrong. I would prefer Kirk Cousins to play, at 1 o'clock. Think about 3 o'clock is past his curfew. I don't want to see him after 3 o'clock. I get all that. But if we look at the context of this game and we see how the defensive line got to Kirk Cousins, he didn't have the time to throw the ball to his best player on the field, which was Justin Jefferson. He was getting sacked. He was getting hit. That's more of the offensive line of the Vikings, which we all know was a problem headed to this game. If we didn't, now we know. Okay, and that's the defensive line of the Cowboys busting up that offensive line. That's like a turnstile getting pushed back so you can get to my guy, Kirk Cousins, in attack. So that's exactly what happened. Okay, so we couldn't see Kirk Cousins make the throws that we needed him to see. The same throws that he made against Buffalo. Now, I understand we like to throw out the time zone and the time difference when it comes to Captain Kirk, okay? But at the end of the day, we cannot have this mantra and attitude that, oh, he doesn't throw the ball the same at 4:00. Like his mechanics are just different at 4:00. No, he's a guy that made the throws last week, right? That made the throws in tight windows. It just so happened he didn't have the time to make those throws in this game. And that's because this time the Cowboys defensive line busted up everything up at the top, which allowed not a lot of things to develop in the secondary.
Let me say one thing real quick to that. Okay, and you making a great point. He didn't have the time, as you would say. Where's the Eagles' offensive line ranked? Thank you. We handled that defensive line last time. Michael Parsons looked miniature when he played against us. Why? We got one of the best offensive lines in the NFL. We ran the ball down their throats. What are we talking about? We was bigger and stronger, and we did it.
And y'all almost lost that game too.
No, it
Cowboys
doesn't
ran
matter
their
about
way
almost
back.
lost. Listen, see, you can't bring up almost lost. You can't. What we did in real time, when it was time, we ran the ball down their throats. That's right. They came back. They came all the way back. And what did we do? We put a drive together where we just ran the ball down their throats against that defensive line because we got the better offensive line.
I don't get the argument because the Cowboys can run the ball too.
Okay, clear. I'm not making that argument, bro. The argument I'm making is they defense got ran on by us because our offensive line is great. Minnesota offensive line is not great, but we do have a great offensive line. I think that do matter, right? Offensive line does matter.
Absolutely, it does.
So do we have a good offensive line?
Yeah, and the Cowboys have a solid one too.
No, forget it. I'm not talking about their offense. I'm talking about the Cowboys defense versus our offense. That's all I'm saying. We could run the ball down their throats.
We could kind of spin. We could kind of spin the way how we want to look at the thing, right? We could Cowboys defense, Eagles offensive line. That's not the point here. Okay, the point is that I believe the Cowboys are the best team in the NFC, and I'm not a Cowboys fan right now. I'm not saying in the playoffs what happens in the playoffs. I don't care about that right now, okay? Because I don't trust them in the playoffs, to be clear, and I made that public on the record. I'm not about to go with this narrative. Oh, the Cowboys are back. The Cowboys are back, even when the NFC is really out of the place, right? The NFC is not consistent, so maybe this could be the year that the Cowboys come. I don't know, and I don't really care. I'm not looking that far. I'm saying right now, the best team with my own two eyes is the Cowboys because I look at the Eagles the last couple of weeks and I say to myself, I haven't been impressed. The way how they lost to the Washington Commanders was the same way that the Cowboys can beat them. The way how they almost lost to Jeff Saturday and Matt Ryan, an aging quarterback, is the same way any other team for that matter could upset them.
Crazy, cousin. 1 week changes your mind. The Cowboys just lost to the Green Bay Packers last week. The Eagles got a better record. We beat Dallas, but then you think Dallas is better. That's actually pretty funny to me. Better record, and we beat Dallas.
Well, basically what I'm predicting is that the next time they meet, I'm taking Cowboys. Okay, that and don't forget about this. Odell Beckham Jr., I'm not sure where he's going to go. I don't have any sources. But if I was a betting man, and a wise man once said to me, I'm not a betting man because he don't want to get, taken by the feds. If you say you're a betting man and you're gambling and you're doing all this other stuff that's illegal in some states, you could get picked up by the feds, okay? But if I was a betting man, okay, I'm taking the Cowboys, and I think that the Odell Beckham Jr., okay, I think he will be going to the Cowboys and making them even more lethal, and that's just what it is.
Later. This discussion will continue later. I can't wait.
Ladies and gentlemen, we might as well move on to the next topic that we have here on today's show. And let's move on to the NBA. Kyrie Irving does not want to be criticized for how he feels. And Cuzzo, I'm going to send this right back to you. Do you like Kyrie Irving? Do you like his statement saying that I don't want to be criticized for how he feels?
I love it. I think, that's how he feels. And I don't think we should criticize how he feels, right? You know what I mean? That's the thing. I think he should have his own feeling. He's entitled to feel the way he want to feel. He's entitled to believe things he want to believe. So I agree with him. He shouldn't be criticized on how he feel. This whole Kyrie thing it's just got thrown way out of whack. And I'm happy that he's back on plane. I'm gonna go there first. I'm not saying that how Kyrie feels or what he believes is how I feel and what I believe. But I do believe in a man's right to feel and say what he want to say. I believe in that right. And I don't think he did nothing to the point that deserve this type of scrutiny and this type of backlash to the point that he was missing this many games. I think they did him a disservice. Okay, we can say a lot of things about Kyrie and all of these things here, but they did him a disservice. They needed that man back on the court. I'm happy that he played, but I'm gonna be honest with you, man. The way this NBA or the way the sports or the way the world or the way the world media, the way things is so sensitive nowadays, and you can't just voice your opinion. I don't know what we are looking for in the future as far as just speaking publicly. Like, I think everything now is just gonna have to be on a hush hush. You're not gonna know how people truly feel, because soon somebody says how they truly feel, you smack them down. And Kyrie was an example of that. And they did that on purpose to put it on full display in front of all the world, in front of all the media. If you get out of line, this is how we're gonna handle you. And I don't like that mentality.
Now, I do want to shout out Ryan Jones for commenting. That's my guy. You could call him a correspondent of the show. I go on his platform, check him out, World Mind Sports. Thank you for the feedback there. But Zay, I'm gonna lob that right back up to you to pick up where Freddie left off.
I think everything Freddie said was correct. We are living in an era where people's opinions definitely hit a lot harder than what we used to be. Growing up, everyone had an opinion. You was told to take it with a grain of salt, take it as constructive criticism, take it as, many different things. They said many different ways to make you not feel the reason to have a lash out, an emotional response, essentially. And I think, when Kyrie Irving says what he says in his opinions, people are supposed to take it with a grain of salt. Like, you're supposed to just understand where each other is coming from, essentially. It's not supposed to be I disagree with you, I don't want to hear what you got to say, yada yada, because that's what the norm is now. If it's not on par with what the mass is agreed with, then you can't say it. It's not allowed to be said. Your opinion means nothing. You are nothing. That is the energy that was given towards Kyrie Irving when he has a difference of opinion with anything he says. He just said the sky is red, and everyone yells at him and screams at him and tells him, you're not, who are you to say this? Who are you to say that? Who are you to alter what I believe in? And not realizing that they're doing exactly what they're claiming he's doing. So it's a lot. It's a lot, because people just want to be heard, right? That's for sure. People just want to be heard, and unfortunately, we're living in an era where people don't realize what they're doing and what they're harming, how they're harming other people. Because no one understands that even if you're a celebrity, you're a basketball player, you're someone who's the richest of the rich or the poorest of the poor, we're all human beings at the end of the day. We all have the same feelings. We all have emotions. And that we all have the right to feel the way we feel. That doesn't mean you have the right to attack somebody based upon their beliefs, based upon their opinions of any nature or any particular subject. So I guess, I agree with Kyrie that he shouldn't be criticized for how he feels, because people are taking it to the extreme where they're just trying to harm the man in any possible way.
Now, I would say this, I think to some extent, I agree and disagree with Kyrie Irving in that particular statement, and how that was probably, who knows, that probably was chopped up and put out. I can't trust the media when it comes to Kyrie Irving. They probably chop something he said and make it bigger. So based on what I see there, I agree and disagree. Now, when you do stand up and speak your mind, and you do speak, from a place where it's factual or unfactual, you're going to be criticized for it if it goes against the grain. So you have to be prepared for that. I can't say the sky is blue or the sky is red and not get pushback for it. The sky to most people look blue. Lil, why do you think the sky is not blue? I can't say that, without being criticized for that, because you look outside, the sky surely looks blue. That's how the world looks to most people. Everybody view the world the same way, 90% of the population. But there's that 10% that does not view the world the way how 90% of people view the world. So it's your job and duty to explain why you feel that way, and I think Kyrie Irving to some extent has been doing that, but the media sets these booby traps for him to get pulled in. So I don't disagree with the way how he handled that post, I think it was post game, speech there, because I said I agree and disagree. I agree in the sense that the media set up booby traps for him to fall into the trap, so they can make another soundbite, so they could be another headline that's going to be distractions for the team. Now, it's unfortunate when it comes to Kyrie Irving, because Kyrie Irving, anything he does, if he doesn't fall in line, it's going to be a distraction to his team. And that's the media making it a distraction. Like I said, I agree with Cuzzo. This thing was blown way out of context and proportion. He just posted a link to a documentary on Amazon, a documentary that's on Amazon, that's being, sold on Amazon. So you can go on Amazon and get this documentary, and nobody has a problem with Amazon, but has a problem with Kyrie Irving. What a world. What a world. So the fact that he got suspended, why did he get suspended? Joe Tsai and Adam Silver last week, like 10 days ago, said, oh, I had a conversation with Kyrie Irving, and I believe he's not an anti-Semite. Why is he still suspended? What's the point? I seen a commercial come across TV. I don't know if y'all noticed it during the games on TNT. Stop, Jewish hate. Why are you putting that out there? You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, of course, we don't hate on other people from any nationality, but why? It was because of Kyrie Irving. Peep the timeline. So I think a lot of people blew this out of proportion. I think if you're Kyrie, though, yeah, if you're going to continue to be a spokesperson for those 10% of the population, you're going to have to explain yourself. And even when you do, it's a lose situation, but still, you're going to have to try to explain yourself the best way you can because you have a platform and you have a mic in front of you. So I'll leave it at that. And ladies and gentlemen, we might as well move on to the next thing that we have here, which is LeBron James. Ooh, let's talk about LeBron James. Was LeBron James taking a shot at Rob Pelinka? So basically, to kind of quote LeBron James, I don't really have the full quote on me right now, but he was on his show, during the telecast of the Packers game against the Titans on Thursday night, when he said that when you have a transcendent star like Aaron Rodgers, you should, basically, I'm just throwing a thing here. F the picks, basically. You should build around Aaron Rodgers and utilize Aaron Rodgers while he's here. So a lot of people took it as a shot to Rob Pelinka in the current situation. We all know that LeBron James want the Lakers to send away draft picks so they can, try to win this year. And so, you know what? I want to start this off because I think when you talk about LeBron James, he's a very calculated individual when he speaks. Okay. And a lot of people may not peep it, but I peep it. Okay. LeBron James is very calculated. Sometimes he do things inadvertently, or sometimes he do things from a subliminal perspective. But I think here, when you look at what Rob Pelinka has done for LeBron James, let's be clear. Okay. The Lakers done more for LeBron James since he's been on the team than Aaron Rodgers and the Packers have done for Aaron Rodgers. Let's be clear here. Okay, you want to trip down memory lane, right? Didn't they trade Kyle Kuzma and Brandon Ingram for Anthony Davis? Didn't they do that, right? For picks, they sold away picks and players for Anthony Davis. I mean, Clay, I'll probably take Brandon Ingram today over Anthony Davis when you talk about Anthony Davis only playing but 60-something games over the last 3 years. Okay, didn't they trade away Kadarius Pope and other guys for Russell Westbrook? Didn't they do that? Where did that get them? So the fact of the matter is LeBron James want to take shots, at Rob Pelinka subliminally. I don't think it's a good thing. Because no matter if they want to trade the picks, it's not going to make the Lakers contenders. LeBron James is only looking out for LeBron James, and that has been the story of his career. Is I'm worried about LeBron James. So Aaron Rodgers, don't take this as LeBron James is another athlete like myself and he's trying to stick up for me. No, he's sticking up for LeBron James, the case of his career. So yeah, I'm going to leave it at that. He was taking a shot at Rob Pelinka, but Rob Pelinka, you don't need to bite the bullet there. Keep your picks, keep your future intact, and try to, just ride it until the wheels come off. I'll leave it at that.
Yeah, of course it was a shot. He's very calculated. You're right. LeBron James is a very intelligent individual. And I'm not mad at LeBron James that's trying to maximize his time here in the NBA as his pursuit to become the greatest basketball player to have ever lived, right? He's falling short. He knows he's falling short. The pressure is on, okay? So with the pressure being on of him falling short of being the greatest basketball player to ever play, he got to ante up still some of his resume. And part of that ante up is championships, okay? I'm not going to be calling this man the greatest basketball player of all times at this point in time in his career. Even if he passed Kareem Abdul-Jabbar in the points, I'm not ready to do that. I need more. I need to see more. It ain't going to happen in my personal opinion, but for his personal psyche, he feels I need to win more championships. I need to get more accolades. I got to be on a big stage and prime time to show people, to leave my mark as the greatest basketball player of all times. I'm running out of time. So clear, Rob Pelinka, trade the house. You think I care about this house 5 years from now? I don't, because I won't be here. Trade everything. Trade the house, the couch, the cat, and the dog. Give me an opportunity to get on primetime TV in the playoffs, in the NBA Finals, win the championship, win the NBA Finals MVP. I need more accolades. I need more statistics. I need more exposure to become the greatest basketball player to have ever lived. Unfortunately, LeBron James, it's not going to happen. That's the Freddie System take.
You know, I believe LeBron James was taking direct shots at Rob Pelinka. To answer the question fully, the guy was talking about we have picks to put people around me. We have the weapons to do so. We have the option to do so. So why not put the weapons around me? It's simple that he wants people around him. He wants shooters all around LeBron James. And this is the same issue that I had before when the GMs were putting slashers and athletic players around Russell Westbrook. Like, you got a guy who slashes at a high level, but you're not spacing the floor. You're not doing anything to help him win basketball games. LeBron James, you're putting guys around him who don't shoot, who don't space the floor, but you're expecting him to win basketball games when the floor is not spaced, when you don't have defense on your side, when you don't have the fast break moving for you. So it's frustration. He wants to play winning basketball, but how can he play winning basketball when every time he drops into the paint, it's clogged? He's forced to be the best three-point shooter on the team, taking 8, 9 3-pointers. And LeBron James is not a three-point shooter. He can make them, but I don't mean he's taking 9 threes a game because he can shoot them. He's doing it because he has no other option but to shoot the basketball. The speed is not there. The power is getting lackadaisical. He's starting to lose endurance as the games go on more and more. He's getting hurt more often than we ever realized. We recognize LeBron James has been doing it throughout this duration of the career. He's been like the Iron Man of basketball. The guy doesn't get hurt. And the fact that he's getting hurt all this time is just showing the wear and tear on his body. So at least I'm saying all that to say this, right? The shots are warranted for Rob Pelinka because they're not putting the best team around LeBron James. It's not a stars league. You don't need 3 superstars and the rest are who knows, who cares. If you could mitigate AD and Russell Westbrook, you could easily just put shooters and above average role players on this team, and this team will do just fine. You don't have to get rid of Kyle Kuzma, KCP, Caruso in order to contend in the Western Conference, because since Russell Westbrook has been there, you haven't been contending for anything. When it was you and AD and a bunch of role players, you are playing just fine. Everyone cried about Kyle Kuzma's numbers, and now they're praising him, even though he's averaging the same damn numbers, the same slash points. But now they're praising him before. But when they was like LeBron James, they were criticizing him. Oh, you're not playing the way you're supposed to play. You're not playing to the level that you should have been playing. I'm like, listen, they're playing just fine both sides of the floor, and you just took that all away, stripped it all away for a superstar to have this dreamland of LA, this glamour of, oh, we have the stars here, come play with us. Nobody want to play with the Lakers right now. No one want to play for the Lakers right now. The wave is homegrown talent. The Memphis of the world, the Memphis the Bucks of the world, Milwaukee Bucks of the world. You got the teams that are homegrown talents, the teams that grow and they build their talent. And right now, the Lakers, well, first of all, the Lakers never been that. So now they have to try to configure that with none of the picks that they have left. They have to hopefully in 2027 and 2029 to get some damn draft picks that's going to be worthy of just developing and doing great. But right now, Rob Pelinka deserves all the shots. He dismantled this team and this foundation to nothing. And right now, they're standing on dirt trying to rebuild something that may not ever be, which is the Lakers showcase.
Yo, Cuzzo, I could jump in there real quick.
Yep.
I could jump in real quick.
Yeah, you on?
All right, my bad.
Yep.
Yeah, really quick. I want to piggyback off of that. The homegrown way of winning championships is back in. Okay, we are on the back end of the LeBron James era, and the era of let's go team up. Okay, this era is coming to a close. It's been a major failure in multiple places and multiple different superstars. Whether it's Paul George and Kawhi Leonard, whether it's Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant, whether it's Russell Westbrook, James Harden and Joel Embiid. It's over. You have to build a team homegrown and adding the right pieces at the right time. This star teaming up thing, it's over. Okay, the LeBron James era, it's over.
Now, basically, what I was just saying to that is to bring us home to the next final topic that we have here on today's show is that basically what Kevin Durant did is what LeBron James did, or should I say what LeBron James did is what Kevin Durant did, just in a different way. Basically having a problem with the roster, the current roster that's presently constructed. And hey, what could you do about it? It is what it is. You asked for the situation. Okay, you're the one that went up to Rob Pelinka and asked for these trades. So let's not act like LeBron James didn't ask for these trades. He did. He wanted Anthony Davis. They had the hookup. They had the same agent. He got him over there. Cool. Get me to LA. And that's what happened. Okay. The same thing with Russell Westbrook. I want Russell Westbrook. Y'all had an opportunity to get DeMar DeRozan. No, I'm not going to wait for him via free agency. I want to win now, right? Okay, fine. You had an opportunity to get Buddy Hield. Yield. I don't want him. I want Russell Westbrook. So LeBron James wanted these things. So let's not make excuses for LeBron James. He wanted it. Okay, so if you're Rob Pelinka, the one asset that you have left, you got robbed, man. You got robbed. Okay, let's just go with it. You got robbed. Okay, the last thing that you have left of any worth is your picks. Keep them. We'll be back. Let's move on to a take for 99 cents, which is one of my favorite topics on this show, where we give you a very expensive take in all of sports, a take for the price of 99 cents. And whoever want to take this rock first, just give me the thumbs up. Okay, Cuzzo, you up first. Give me your take for 99 cents.
Let me give y'all my take for 99 cents. The NFC East is back. Okay, it was the number one division in all of NFL for years, for decades, and we back. We got the Washington Commanders over 500. We got the Dallas Cowboys, the Philadelphia Eagles. We even got the New York Giants, who don't have a lot of talent, winning games. Okay, we got the best record out of any division, and the NFC East is back. We're not just back for now. I think we're back for long term. I can see that the Eagles is going to be a team to be reckoned with in the future. The Dallas Cowboys, I think the Giants, and even the Washington Commanders, just like way back in the day when we used to beat each other up all over the place and come out and win Super Bowl championships. If y'all did not know, it's the only division in the NFL where all teams got a Super Bowl championship. And the NFC East is back. They the beast of the East, the number one division in the NFL. And I dare somebody to go against it. Freddie System status. That's my 99-cent take.
Real quick, man. That was a great take. I have a take for 99 cents. And actually, it's for one particular guy, in New York, and his name is RJ Barrett. You need to wake the hell up. It's time for
How
you.
How many next 99 cents you gonna do? Go ahead.
I'm gonna keep doing it till I make a full dollar. Listen, this man needs to wake the hell up. RJ Barrett. I see people online saying he has 15 more games until we boo him out at Madison Square Garden. 15 more games until we boo him out of Madison Square Garden. I'm not giving him 15 games. He better get it together next game. This man is terrible. He can't make an open three. He can't make an open layup. He can't make open free throws. What can you do? What can you do? It's getting disgusting. The fact that I've been really protecting this man. Oh, no, he's going to be great. Don't worry about it. He's the next coming. Don't worry about it. Average 20 points a game. He's going to be an all-star this year. This man is missing everything. Now, I understand it's early in the season. The NBA season, people are still flowing and finding their groove. I don't want to hear that with him. This man needs to make his open shots. This is open shoot-around shots he's missing. It doesn't make any sense. The man cannot hit a rock in a damn pond. I thought he could hit a car somewhere. A car that's even nearby. It's disgusting how he's missing everything. This man is RJ Bricks until he makes some open damn shots. And that's my take for 99 cents.
That was smooth. Both of y'all, that was smooth. I'm going to try to do my best to keep up with the pace in the race. My take for 99 cents is that this cat and Rudy Gobert experiment is just done for. It's stupid, okay? Zigging while the league is zagging, trying to be the odd man out will get you a losing franchise, okay? I hate when teams try to, do something different. It's one thing to try to do something different and be successful at it. But when you fail at it, it's terrible, okay? The league is small. We are seeing more small ball lineups in the league, okay? More shooting on the floor. And you decide to go Twin Towers, okay? Let me tell you something, okay? the reason why they made the move for Rudy Gobert was to fix a 13th ranked defense last year. Okay, obviously what he does with the rim running and screen setting allows you to have more space on the open floor. Okay, but what that did was take away Karl Anthony Towns' candid ability to shoot threes. Okay, a center that could shoot the rock, that's being taken away. I'm seeing him playing a lot of power forward. What's going on there? Okay. And another thing that I'm noticing is that we all know that he has a liability defensively. But when you made that move, you lost guys that could switch multiple positions and defend, like Pat Bev, like Jalen McDaniels. You lost those cats. Okay. Another thing I'm noticing is that teams do not trust, or superstars, do not trust Rudy Gobert. It was the same thing with Donovan Mitchell in the pick and roll. He didn't want to throw it to Rudy Gobert. He did not trust him. Okay, I'm seeing the same thing with Anthony Edwards. In fact, in 125 pick and roll situations, he only threw up the lob to Rudy Gobert 5 times out of 125 situations in pick and roll. Stars are not trusting Rudy Gobert. Cat, what made him a dog, is now making him a cat. Meow. Okay, softer than anybody. Okay, him being there on the floor, it doesn't fit. It doesn't work. And I knew it from the start. But you had a couple so-called media NBA savants that was like, maybe they built something. I appreciate the low market trying to go big. No, you're stupid. It doesn't work. Okay? And you know what? Y'all trade away. Let's go back to the trade. Y'all trade away 5 picks and 4 players to the Jazz for Rudy Gobert. The Jazz are in first place in the Western Conference. Where's the Timberwolves? In 10th place in the same division, in the same conference. Yeah. Bad trade. That's my take for 99 cents.
It's mean. That was mean right there.
Ladies and gentlemen, that wraps up another episode of 99 Pod. And I had to work through it. I'm going to give myself the game ball because of all the technical difficulties and still trying to manage and host the show. But guess what? That's why they call me the Lil Shadamas, the real Lil. Okay, so like and subscribe. And fellas, I want to thank y'all for hanging out today. And of course, as always, looking forward to the next one.
Absolutely, man. Listen, I hope we better than any other New York team. I'm getting tired of it. We definitely the best team out here. We're the best team in New York. And that's how I'm going to say that right now. We're the best team in New York. Because right now, these teams are playing terrible.
Listen, keep hope alive. That's all I'm going to say. Peace out.